Physical spaces accumulate the history of those who occupy them. Every structure holds the quiet residue of its past, replacing the expectation of terror with the reality of quiet persistence. In his poem Haunted Houses, H.W. Longfellow suggests that every home where people have lived and died remains actively occupied. These harmless phantoms glide through the structure on silent errands, completing the small, unfinished business of their former lives. These entities move without resistance. They pass seamlessly through open doors, ascend grand marble steps, and cross empty passages without displacing a single molecule of air or creating the slightest sound upon the floors. Living inhabitants encounter impalpable impressions on the air. This is the sudden, faint sensation of movement, a subtle shift in the room's atmosphere that exists beyond the sense of touch. Recognizing this invisible presence creates a sense of vulnerability. Our walls and locked doors offer no barrier to these entities, leaving us to share our most private sanctuaries with forces we cannot see. The tension of a haunting emerges from the unavoidable intimacy of sharing our immediate physical reality with the collective weight of the past. We gather in our parlors and dining halls, assuming we have total control over the guest list of our own homes. Yet at any of these domestic gatherings, there is an eerie mathematical paradox. The guests sitting quietly at the table outnumber the people the host actually invited. These brightly lit halls are thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. They blend into the background of the home, silently observing the living dinner guests without ever intruding on the conversation. A stranger visiting the house will look around the table and perceive only the physical bodies currently drawing breath. But the speaker perceives an overlapping reality, seeing all that has been sitting right alongside the present. Experiencing a haunting requires a widened perception of time. The living and the dead coexist simultaneously, sharing the exact same physical space and time. Human societies rely on written laws and paper documents to lay absolute claim over physical property. We use title deeds to prove land belongs to the living. Yet the dead maintain a quiet counterclaim, keeping an invisible grip on the estates they once built. This illustrates the legal concept of mortmain, or the dead hand. While physical deeds transfer from buyer to seller, the poem argues that the dead possess an untransferable, permanent spiritual ownership that human legal constructs cannot dissolve. Even when their bodies are buried and their graves are forgotten under layers of soil and fallen leaves, the dead reach out through the earth with dusty hands to maintain their attachment to the home. True ownership is held by the collective weight of the memories and lives that have occupied a space, rendering the physical signature on a deed a temporary illusion. This spiritual claim expands beyond the strict wooden walls of a house. The presence of the dead forms a broad, global layer enveloping the entire world. This spirit world drifts through the dense mists and heavy vapors of our physical existence, operating as an ethereal atmosphere that surrounds our daily movements. This ethereal air acts as a vital breath that intertwines with our physical reality, moving effortlessly through the same spaces we inhabit. Longfellow characterizes this spiritual layer as the nourishing medium necessary for the physical world to flourish. It provides the invisible continuity that links the transient nature of life to a more permanent sense of spiritual existence. This external, atmospheric presence mirrors our internal condition. Human life is a constant, uneasy struggle to maintain equilibrium amidst severe opposing pressures. Our instincts pull in two directions. On one side, earthly attractions, driving immediate physical pleasure. Countering them are noble desires, pushing us toward intellectual growth. The poem attributes this internal clash to a celestial influence, tension resulting from forces entirely outside our immediate environment. This unseen star and undiscovered planet represent the weight of destiny and the historical forces that act upon us, shaping the internal terrain of the human mind. These invisible pressures dictate our daily struggle, acting as the psychological ghosts that force us to choose between our immediate wants and our highest potential. Longfellow resolves this struggle with a final image. The bright moon emerges from behind a dark gate of heavy clouds to cast its light downward. The moonlight lays a shimmering bridge of light across the dark sea, forming a direct pathway linking our solid world to the vast spiritual realm. It is a fragile connection. The bridge is made of trembling planks and an unsteady floor, representing the risk and uncertainty inherent in navigating the dark abyss of the unknown. Human thoughts and fancies eagerly crowd across this unsteady floor, driven by an innate curiosity to venture into the dark and connect with the mysteries of those who preceded us.